A vengeful goddess, a pan king, and the mysterious jungles of Yaesha. Remnant 2's new DLC, The Forgotten Kingdom, throws so many secrets at players, it's overwhelming. But never fear, because we've searched high and low to find the best and most impactful items to take your gameplay to that next level. My name is Kodiak, this is Legacy Gaming, and today we're revealing the secrets of Lydusa in Remnant 2's second DLC, The Forgotten Kingdom. Let's start with Lydusa herself, the third Yaesha goddess, and easily the one most apt to kill us for no good reason. If you watched our 5 weapons video that we recently posted on the channel, then you already know about the 2 Lydusa secrets, but let's quickly break them down here. Lydusa's primary kill rewards players with Monolith, a unique beam-style long gun that features a powerful sandstorm mod. To obtain the weapon, players need to kill the fractured form of Lydusa. To do this, they need to claim the cherished fracture, which is found behind the massive stone statue in Luminous Vale. Progressing through the DLC normally will activate the waterfall mechanism that allows the player to activate the statue, claim the fracture, and then, returning to Lydusa, fight her and claim the weapon. Lydusa's alternate kill isn't actually a kill at all. You'll need to have the Goddess Rest dungeon map in order to obtain the second weapon, Mirage. First, you'll need to progress through the zones as normal, claiming the cherished fracture like before. But instead of bringing it to the spirit form of Lydusa, progress through the Goddess Rest map, activating the 5 pylons scattered around the dungeon. Once you activate all 5, the main temple door will open, and you can use the cherished fracture as an offering at the base of the statue. This will trigger the real Lydusa to spawn, and instead of fighting her, she'll thank you for restoring her temple and reward you with the Mirage crafting item. This is a flail melee weapon that also has a sandstorm mod, so definitely check it out. Alright, with Lydusa's secrets out of the way, let's step through every zone and find some secrets, starting with Glittering Grotto, the first part of the Ancient Canopy overworld. We're going to start by talking about the Curry bird. We do have a full video breaking this down in detail already up on the channel, but we'll touch on it here again if you want the Cliff Notes version. If you head to the Curry nest, which you can access halfway up the hill before meeting Walt the first time, you can claim the egg in its nest. Take this egg to Dwayne back in Ward 13, and after giving him a number of ingredients, he'll reward you with Egg Drink, a new concoction. Alternatively, you can walk up to the egg and not pick it up. Then progress through your game, and after talking to Lydusa the first time and reaching Luminous Vale, you can return to the nest, and a large Curry bird will reward you with a crafting material that you can take back to Ward 13 to create Thorn. Again, this was a quick version of events. If you want all the details, I'd recommend you check out our full-length video. As for the rest of Glittering Grotto, well, there are plenty of secrets to uncover, and most of them are around the base of that massive stone staircase. Before it's lowered down, you can descend to the middle area of the zone. Here you'll fight a number of living stone enemies, but if you continue straight and then hang a left, you'll find a small waterway where you can fight the Charred Sentry Aberration. This is one of those giant pot enemies, just on steroids. Once defeated, you'll receive the Pressure Points mod, which increases the weapon's ranged and mod damage to enemies within 7 meters. In this same area is also Yukul, an almost destroyed living stone warrior that, at this point, you can't talk to. Once you meet Lydusa the first time, you'll receive her curse, which reduces your defensive capabilities, but allows you to talk to the living stone. Return to the soldier and let it know that all of the Pan are dead, and you'll be rewarded with the Stone Shaper's Chisel. This is an interesting amulet that I could see working into some very specific skill-based builds. Eventually, you'll lower that giant set of stone stairs, and while most of you probably know this by now, we have to point out 2 major secrets at the bottom. Once you lower the stairs, head to the forest floor. Find the singular door and make your way into the trap room. Make your way across the sand, dodging the arrows the entire time, and you can claim the Disciple armor set. Make your way back into the sand and stand in this spot here. If you look carefully, you can see a faint glowing circle. Stand there without moving your character for around 5 minutes, and you'll sink into the floor and wake up in a hidden chamber. There, you can claim the old flute item, which you can take back to Wallace in Ward 13 to unlock the Invoker archetype. One of the Forgotten Kingdom's dungeons, the Infested Abyss, challenges players to deal with 3 progressively harder root nexus as they make their way to the bottom of this root-infested zone. Along the way, there are a number of secrets to solve and loot to claim. In this pillar room, which is an injectable that could appear in another dungeon, there is an interesting co-op reward. One player must stand on the pressure pad in the far back right of the room. The other will head to the pillar that is being lowered at the front left side of the room. This will allow your partner to be raised up and enter a secret passageway that contains the Pan Warband Ring, which increases movement and reload speed as well as fire rate for every player on your team wearing the ring. There's also another reward in this same area, located behind a false wall near the ceiling of the room on the right side. You must first activate the red tinted pressure plate to lower the pillar. Get on the lowered pillar and jump off into the false wall as you're raised up, and behind it you'll find the Ring of Spirits, which increases mod generation by 3% for each active consumable, up to 5 stacks. Further along in the zone, once you reach this larger open area, right after unlocking the shortcut door, you can drop down this ledge here and claim the Conjurer's Circle, which is a fascinating defensive ring. Continue progressing through the zone and eventually you'll drop down into this room at the bottom of the Infested Abyss. Make sure to pick up the new Crystal Staff propped up in the open sarcophagus, as this is one of the most interesting new weapons in the entire DLC. Finally, let's talk about Clawbone, or the Root Emissary, as we will learn later. Here you have a couple of choices, and depending on what you choose, will reward you differently. If you choose to submit to the Emissary, it'll grant you a new amulet, the Profane Soulstone. This increases summon damage by 30% and summon movement speed by 15%. It also reduces total damage reduction by 10% per active summon. You can take the Profane Soulstone to the Keeper in the Labyrinth, and if you hand it over, they'll cleanse it, rewarding you with the Soulstone, which straight up increases summon damage by 30% and summon movement speed by 30%. You could also tell the Keeper you're keeping the Profane Soulstone. If you do this, return to the Emissary in the Infested Abyss, and they'll reward you with a new relic, the Profane Heart, which grants you an innate 3% lifesteal bonus. On use, it also increases all lifesteal efficacy by 50% for 15 seconds. You could also choose to not submit to the Emissary, which triggers an Aberration fight. By killing the mini-boss, you'll be rewarded with the Nearsighted Mutator, which increases range damage of the weapon it's equipped on by 10% to enemies within 7 meters. In the next zone, the Deserted Atelier, you'll encounter the Cinderclad Monolith, a new boss introduced in the Forgotten Kingdom DLC. Before that, however, are a number of secrets and items to collect. The Grove of the Protector is an injectable that you can find in other Yaesha maps. It is often marked by a drop-down hole nestled amongst some rocks. Here you'll find a number of items. First is the Token of Favor, a ring that's just sitting there on a stone slab waiting for you to pick up. If you kill the 6 does bounding around the area, an aberration will spawn, the Protector of the Grove. Killing this rewards you with the 1000 Cuts Mutator, easily one of the best options added to the game since launch. Finally, if you have the Red Doe Sigil Amulet, equip it and a secret passageway will reveal itself under the massive statue. At the base of the stairs is the Servine Keepsake Amulet, which grants Call of the Doe whenever you use a relic. This increases movement speed by 4% per stack. When the buff expires, players regain 1 relic charge per stack. After you meet Lydusa the first time, you'll make your way to the next zone, the Luminous Vale. Here again, there are quite a few secrets to uncover. If you take the ramp up to the stone columns, you can jump across the gaps to a secret area where you'll meet Private Driver, who's been surviving Yaesha for years thanks to his survival training, so he claims. Just for finding him, he'll reward you with the Rally Band, which is an interesting melee survivability ring. If you complete the DLC, killing or restoring Lydusa, you can return to Private Driver and you'll find the Worn Dog Tags, which increases fire rate and reload speed and decreases weapon charge time. In another part of the map, you'll be able to take a stone elevator up to the uppermost part of the area. About a quarter of the way up is an opening in the wall. Jump off the elevator and you can claim the Burden of the Mason Ring. On the opposite corner of the map, you'll find a small series of waterways. Move through them, killing any enemies that get in your way, and eventually you'll find yourself in a half-sunken room. In the corner, amongst a small group of flowers, is the Thalos Islet Ring. The Luminous Vale is also where you can complete the first part of the Trinity Crossbow secret. You will have to run the Forgotten Kingdom maps a total of 3 times to find the 3 pieces, called Trinity Mementos, scattered around the map. There are 3 spawn locations in total, so make sure you comb the forest each time you clear the Luminous Vale. Every time you claim a piece, turn it into Dwell in Ward 13 before re-rolling your world until you have all 3 pieces. For your trouble, you'll be rewarded with the Echo of the Forest Amulet. Wearing this amulet, head back to the first part of the Forgotten Kingdom, the Glittering Grotto, and jump across the gap through the secret waterfall entrance. Climb down and turn left to find a wall with a picture of the Echo of the Forest painted on it. With the amulet equipped, a secret staircase will reveal itself and you can walk down to claim the Trinity Crossbow, the premier weapon of the DLC. Just a couple more zones to go, but still plenty of secrets to find. In Goddess Rest, you'll need to activate 5 pylons scattered around the map. Once all 5 are active, you'll unlock the main temple door, and you can complete Lydusa's alternative kill like we mentioned before. However, inside the temple are a few other secrets. If you approach the altar without putting anything into the bowl, you'll be attacked by the Bloodless Air, an aberration. By defeating it, not only do you receive the Searing Wounds Mutator, which increases range damage to targets afflicted with burning, but you'll also receive the ring, Bloodless King's Vow. With the aberration dealt with, you can walk across the water to claim the Bloodless Crown, a vanity headpiece that's tied to the lore of the DLC. There's also one more secret tied to this temple, the hidden chambers of Lydusa and Thalos. To activate this, you need to make your way back to the outside of the temple to this section with the waterfalls. Right after you pass by this one, turn left and you'll notice a gap in the wall. Make your way through to the back of the chamber and pass through this false wall here to gain access to an elevator and the hidden chamber. In the secret room, you'll find the Bloodless Heart Relic, which provides you an invulnerability shield for 3 seconds on use. Eventually, you'll reach the Primal Hollow, a small section of the Luminous Vale above the massive stone statue. Once you clear the root corruption, you'll enter a building, and if you hang a right, you'll find Walt in his final location. Walt's actually an interesting character and has a couple of small secrets tied to him. If you befriend him throughout your entire DLC journey, doing all of the positive dialogue options, you can eventually kill Lydusa and return to him in this spot. If you successfully befriend him, he'll reward you with the Feathery Binding, a ring that increases projectile speed and decreases weapon charge time. He'll also offer you a friends and family discount on his wares, dropping the Burden of the Mesmer from 100,000 scrap to 1,000 scrap. Alternatively, if you've already retrieved the Cherished Fracture and you turn your back to Walt, he'll stab you, stealing the quest item in an attempt to stop Lydusa himself. He's become a bit of a fanatic at this point. Head to the Bloodless Throne and you'll witness Walt's demise before having to fight Lydusa yourself. With Walt dead, you'll be able to pick up that same Burden of the Mesmer ring for free. Just 2 maps left, and they're both new in the Forgotten Kingdom. We'll start with the Earthen Coliseum, which features a prominent fight with the new Stone Warden boss, as well as an elaborate moon phase puzzle. There are 2 rewards tied to the puzzle itself. If you follow the phases of the moon mapped out on the wall in the chamber before the puzzle, you can walk across the tiles and eventually reach a treasure room. There, you can pick up the Mark of the Destroyer ring, which triggers an explosion whenever you perfect dodge. Before you leave, don't forget to get the second item, the Moonstone Amulet. This time, you'll complete the puzzle, but instead of following the phases of the moon, you'll actually follow the labyrinth of walls underneath you. Start on the new moon, move left to the left sliver, then turn right to the half moon. Then walk forward back onto the tile with the left sliver. Then angle yourself so you're walking towards the full moon in the back left corner of the room. You'll drop down into a secret chamber where you can claim the Moonstone Amulet. This item increases reload speed by 15%. On every 3rd manual reload, it will reload both firearms and increase range damage by 15% for 10 seconds. Our final stop on the rapid tour of Forgotten Kingdom secrets is the Proving Grounds, which features a ton of new items to pick up. The first is the Battle Armor set, which you can only claim once you've drained the first area of water. Complete the Arrow Trap platforming room and you'll reach a lever that lowers the water level. Return to the start of the challenge and you'll be able to drop down on this corner here to reach the bottom of the now cleared area. In the back corner is a body we assume is one of Private Driver's squad mates. Claim the armor and move on. Eventually you'll reach a pillar and arrow trap room. In order to progress to the next part of the gauntlet, you'll need to lower this pillar. But don't forget to jump into this false wall first. This will give you access to a small secret area and the Floodlit Diamond, a powerful ring that increases weak spot damage on targets affected by Exposed. Once you get past the arrow traps, it's time for the buzzsaws. In the first room, where the buzzsaws are above you, you can activate a pressure plate in the middle of the room to open a secret door on the right side, closer to the entrance. Make it into that room and you'll fight the Fractured Aberration that rewards you with the Gladiator Mutator, which increases melee damage by 25% whenever you take damage while holding a melee weapon. Finally, in the last buzzsaw room, there is a special co-op reward. While one player stands on the pressure plate at the front of the room, another player moves through the gauntlet, but instead of going through the main door to the next area, take the small passageway that wraps back around to the start of the challenge room. Halfway down the hallway is a new secret room where players can pick up the Darksea Armada Crest, a ring that increases all elemental damage dealt for 15 seconds whenever a relic is used. So there you have it, all of the major secrets of the Forgotten Kingdom DLC. As a reminder, additional items were added to the other worlds, so if you haven't played through Nerud or Losum yet, you are missing out on some new gear. As a quick bonus, before we say goodbye, there are a couple other secrets you should know about. First is if you talk to Mudtooth after beating Lydusa, he'll reward you with Mudtooth's hat, a new vanity headpiece. You can also head back to the Awakened King map and this event here. If you shoot the preacher in the head, you'll be rewarded with another vanity item, the top hat. Finally, if you have both the Crown of the Red Prince and the Crimson Guard headpiece, you can bring them both to Namwe and she'll combine them and create a new vanity headpiece that combines both looks into a single item. Now that was a lot to digest, but hopefully you have an idea for all the secrets up for grabs in the Forgotten Kingdom DLC. As always, if you like our Remnant 2 videos and you want more content like this in the future when the third DLC releases, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up, and consider subscribing. My name is Kodiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.